It comes second nature after a little bit. Like, it's literally that thing. I can kind of glance there. I see the monitor, and I can see the black blob with a bright pink spot on it. And it's like, perfect. That's good. And in this one, Tony will look taller than me because he's closer to the camera. I see it. Yeah, your quads are going to be angry at you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Real quick.
I don't think they're on.
I think they. Oh no, they're not. Oh, hey, hold on. Now they are.
Now they are.
Oh shit, these are loud. This is gonna be a mistake. Anyways,
Totally.
So real quickly, my name is Dave Wheeler, aka Dave Wonder from YouTube. I've been doing it now for, I think I'm coming up on 4 years. I started right out of the pandemic. I am also a creator, or a comic creator, and I'm tabling it. I told you, man, there's pills for that. It's one of those things. I've been doing comics for about 17, 18 years. I've been a toy collector my entire life. I more recently have also gotten into the toy design industry, working for Boss Fight Studios, as well as a couple companies coming up that hopefully will have some stuff announcing very soon. So it's that weird thing of going from someone running to the store and picking up stuff off the shelves, or going to swap meets and all that stuff, to kind of getting behind the scenes stuff and actually producing toys. But yeah, I've been around. I used to be on the Foosh channel with Robo for Monday Foosh Live. I have 3. I can sense it at this point. I also host a 24-hour marathon stream once a year, the Bad Idea for a Good Cause stream, where the bad idea is for me because I am live on the internet for 24 hours, and thankfully I have a lot of fun friends that stop on by and make me eat stupid hot chicken. One of my very closest and best friends in this whole wide world is this bearded beauty next to me. I'll let him introduce himself real quick, and then we'll dive into the panel.
My name's Tony. I guess on the internet everybody knows me as Grif Ryder.
But everybody still calls you Tony?
Everybody still calls me Tony, that's fine. And I mean, I've been collecting toys for probably 30 years at this point, and you know, probably in the last, 5 years now, finally sort of working in the business. I worked at a toy store. Toy store. Selling the wares that are awesome. And
what store is that, Tony?
It's called Minton Box Toys in Stillwater, Minnesota.
Also on the con floor. Go over and check it out. There's lots of cool merch there.
Thankfully.
Yeah, it's not at the store right now because they took it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Let's Talk Toys is a program that I do every Monday live on YouTube. And basically it's toy news, toy talk, and much, much more, as I like to say. But I'm on 3 days a week. Tony is on Tony's on 2 days a week.
Usually.
But if you ever want to check it out, it's youtube.com/DaveWonder. Let's Talk Toys is Monday. Tuesday is Chop and Shop, which is toy customization, toy restoration, and more. So if you have questions or want to learn how to fix your toys, make custom toys, etc., I have various professionals come through and do that. Wednesday is Grippin' and Rippin', which is unboxing, which Tony is a regular on. And then Thursday is Grif Riffs, which you can go into that.
I just go on and rant and rave about whatever's this week, whether it be, you know, movies, music, comics, toys.
We keep it positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we do. We're lifelong toy collectors. We're lifelong toy dorks, and now we're kind of getting this opportunity to do something a little different within the realm of it. That marathon stream benefits an organization called Extra Life, which in my case, all the money goes towards Gillette's Children's Hospital for children's cancer treatment and research. And talking nerdy to folks for 24 hours has helped raise $10,300 this year so far. The crazy thing is, on that marathon stream, legit we've had voice actors, YouTube personalities, toy designers from every major toy brand. And it's that fun thing of seeing these folks who have helped pioneer the industry, and also have helped pioneer some of the inspirations for various outlets. Townsend Coleman was a guest for 2 years, who was the original voice of Michelangelo in The Tick. And he just came on and he talked about his process in there, and talked about, what inspired him and stuff. So, it's that fun thing of bringing all of nerddom together and then somehow connecting it back to lovely chunks of plastic. But yeah, we're just here to kind of have fun, talk about collecting, answer your questions, and it's more of a conversation in this panel than anything, because lecturing's boring, and y'all have enough of that in your life. So we just want to come in and have some fun. So
Yeah, that's about it.
real quickly, I'm guessing if you're here, how many of you are toy collectors to some extent? You're a liar, Stephen. Liar. I was like, he has the most toys of us all.
Liar.
That's true. This dude
me.
could swim in Joy Toy.
It's me.
Yeah, you win.
Unfortunately.
If someone could be buried in their toys, it's Tony. Like, it's going to be the weirdest funeral ever. Yeah. Just start pouring Z-bots on you. Just
Z-bots and Battle Beasts.
Yeah.
You get the Muscle Man now.
Hey, yes.
Next 24 hours.
What?
Turn your ribcage into a Beyblade Stadium.
Oh,
Sure. I'm for it.
that would smell terrible. Anyways, imagination's a wonderful thing, folks. You know what? Screw this. This is stupid. Sorry. I'm a loud person, so I'm not gonna use that thing. Real quick, we're gonna go around the room real quick. What do you guys collect here? What do you dig about toys? We'll start right there.
Usually Beyblades and like Bakugan, but playability kind of side of toys mostly.
Right on.
Also
Very-
like Tokusatsu stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, that sort of stuff.
Right on. Do you got it into like the SH figure arts, or are you more in like the Safubi realm, or?
Mostly just like the transformation devices.
Oh, okay.
The play toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
I
Very
didn't
cool.
bring any of them I've had today, sadly.
No worries. What about you?
A lot of wonderful. Just all.
Yeah. Right on.
Legends, Black
Nothing.
Series.
I don't collect Black Series because I don't really like Star Wars.
Sure.
But,
Hey.
yeah,
I say that because like I had to set up a rule where I can't do G.I. Joe, Star Wars, or Transformers because I love those franchises, but I can't do it. There's too much merch.
that's like still good, you know.
But
Yeah.
Yet you have a 3 foot tall Optimus Prime.
I have one Transformer, and I was like, done. Like,
Is it
what about-
3D print or is it?
it's the Lewin Atlas 01, so it's technically a third party Optimus. So it's not it's Atlas. Anyways, it's Optimus Prime. He's like that big and transformed and shit. It's cool.
It's like true 1/12 scale,
Yeah,
basically.
you could put a legend in the cab if the Matrix of Leadership wasn't in there. Which is also one of those things of like a sentence that I am saying on a panel right now, and it's just like, yeah, that makes sense. That's legit. What about you guys back there?
Dolls and figures, action figures.
Right on. Cool. Ryu?
Yeah, I say like for like toy variety, I do collect like Squishmallows, which is you probably heard of.
Yep,
it.
from Jazzwares. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then also I do collect a variety of different dolls, including like BGADs that I like customize.
Oh, right on.
And
Great.
then I also collect Pokemon cards, but
Oh, very cool. Hey, it's collectible. Steven collects everything. No. What do you collect, Steven?
No, Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, mainly Bebop and Rocksteady, and
Keep it going. Keep it
Masters
going
of
there.
the Universe.
Gremlins.
I've come back from Gremlins.
Oh, okay.
Gremlins is almost done. I have one shelf.
And then, baby.
I don't know, and then weird stuff, like weird monsters, I guess.
That's always. And you?
I collect SpongeBob things, and I also collect a lot of Pokemon cards.
Very cool. Right on.
I know she likes that.
Oh yeah. gotta get Vivens to sign it. And I mean that's the fun thing is like we went through this entire room and everybody had something different, which was pretty dope. I'm a big Ninja Turtles, Spidey guy. For me, I'm about like the general aesthetic of a toy. If there's a really cool looking toy, I dig it. I bought a Chainsaw Man without buying or like without ever watching an episode. I'm like, that dude is a Chainsaw Man. I'm like, look at it. Like it was just
cool.
yeah, it was just really cool looking. Now I've watched it and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense now. But the toy's really cool.
Did it really make sense though?
It made sense why he has giant chainsaws for arms.
Little
There was
chainsaw dog.
there was context.
Forms.
It was a little more like, oh, good, he's not just like yeah, that's gonna stay there now. Like it's a little bit different. You know, like, and that's kind of been one of those fun things. Like for me personally, collecting. I grew up with an older brother and a lot of older cousins. So like we were the hand-me-down house. So like I was the dude with a Starsky and Hutch lunchbox in like '95. So, you know, it's one of those very confusing things where I'm like, what's wrong with Huggy Bear? And people are like, I don't get that. But, exactly. But it was that funny thing of, I was born in 87, so like Ninja Turtles was huge and superheroes and all that stuff. But like my cousins handed down a ton of like Masters of the Universe, Micronauts, Evil Knievel. I launched that thing over everything. and lawn darts, which I now realize why they don't give to children anymore. And so does the drywall in my basement. But
It's true. I collect everything, whether it's 1/6 scale, 1/12 scale, a little 3 3/4 inch scale, or 1/18 scale, whatever. Prop replicas, comic books, pretty much just anything that looks cool. I am an equal opportunity collector.
Tony's ADD. He's one of those guys who goes, look at the pretty. Like, he will grab whatever he can.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's the fun thing about collecting is everyone's collecting is a little bit different. Like, I have friends who they have a bookshelf that has, you know, their stuff on it. Some people, I have one guy who he has a 1 in, 1 out rule. So for every figure that comes in, because he was a really heavy collector for like, I want to say like 10 or 15 years, he sold off his entire collection except for maybe like a dozen figures, and so he has a rule of 1 in, 1 out. So if a figure comes in, he has to get rid of one of those other figures for the sake of his own mental stability, because he has an addictive personality. So it's always interesting to see where collecting can take you, and also the people that it can help introduce you to. Through that, it's that weird thing of like, one of my many different jobs is I work in the professional wrestling industry. Well, I make custom action figures for a lot of folks that you see on TV these days, and some you don't. But like, it's one of my favorite things is, does anybody here know who Finn Balor is from the WWE? He used to wrestle as Prince Devitt. Anyways, a dude that has held the world championship like 2 or 3 times now. He's been around the world and all this stuff, and I got contacted by him to make an action figure of his dad. Because his dad was a big collector.
Did you do his wife too?
Phrasing.
Oh, sorry.
I did make an action figure of his wife and several of his nephews as well. But, you know, it was that weird thing of, this is a dude that, you know, I've seen on national television and, like, you know, tried to, you know, watch on pay-per-view and stuff. And now I'm getting text messages like, here's a topless photo of my father. That's a weird note to come in on. Hi. But that was how I started interacting with him, because I'm like, who is this? So I'm like, there's a picture of an elderly man without a shirt on. And then I ended up making a custom action figure of him. The reason he was topless was because he had heart surgery, so he wanted me to actually sculpt on the scar on the figure, because it was a very important thing, because that was what saved his life. But through that, I've gotten to meet actually Jeremy Padower, the dude behind Jazzwares. You know, he managed. You know, he's the one who brought Squishmallows into the world of kind of bringing that whole brand forward. But
Fortnite, AEW.
Yeah, all of them. Like, dude created classic superstars for Jack Specific, if you're wrestling figure fans, as well as a bunch of others. But again, it's that weird thing of coming from, you know, going to Kmart when I was like 4 years old and picking up a random Spider-Man animated series figure to working within the industry now. Toys are just that weird chunk of my life that just has started to take over more and more and more. And now that I do YouTube, it's become even a bigger part, because now I also get to bring in, you know, my friends into the fold, and also get to reach out to folks, you know, across the world. I have viewers in Indonesia and Australia and Japan, all over Europe, Scandinavia, yeah, just freaking everywhere. And it's cool because all these people are tuning in to talk toys. It's kind of the fun universal thing of having a little bit of an escape in weird times.
And it's crazy. I mean, you know, being as a person who wasn't prior a part of the industry in any way, shape, or form, but still having the same love for it, and then coming into meeting all these people. Like, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would meet David Bonner, who was basically the godfather of modern toys. He helped create, at the time he was working for Toy Biz, and he helped create the modern Marvel Legends.
Him and Jesse Falcon.
Yeah.
We're like the big two behind that.
It's just crazy. And then a couple of years ago, was that last year that we went to PowerCon? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Time means nothing anymore.
Going to PowerCon and like actually like sitting down and talking with people who are the creators of these things that I love, and picking their brain and seeing where all that comes from, and their love of toys and how that translates into what they're doing is it's pretty incredible. And then even just this last year now, just trying to help people with our platform, help them get their things made through Kickstarter and stuff like that is you know, even though it's just a small piece of it, is still like very rewarding to help other people help get their dreams made, and it's just kind of awesome.
And there's, I mean, the fantastic thing is, you know, growing up there, you know, tokusatsu stuff, you know, like even 1/12 and stuff was such like a niche thing. Like there was an aisle of toys. It used to be a aisle. Now it's like 8 aisles, you know, because there's just such a cool, crazy variety. And the neat thing is now indie toy making is a thing. I've been lucky enough to start working with my buddy Ricky, who does a toy line called Plunderlings, and kind of getting, you know, behind the scenes there. An organization out of Colombia called Fist, which is making 1/12 scale, like high fantasy military hybrid figures. At the same time, my buddy Brandon, who does 9 to 5 Warriors, who makes action figures out of office supplies, kind of in the realm of like a toy line called Food Fighters that was popular in the 80s. Actually, those just came in from the raffle prizes from the marathon
nice.
stream. There is a tape dispenser called Scotchy, who is, and the toy itself is an anthropomorphic tape dispenser, but he's a climbing specialist, so you can actually put a roll of tape in him and like have him rappel down your it's silly and stupid and goofy, but the neat thing is you're seeing this like revival of a lot of concepts that were really popular when all of us were like super little and stuff like that, but now it's bringing it to a new generation.
Yeah, there's what is it, the Beast of the Mesozoic. They created a line called the Beast of the Cyberzoic, which is basically a modernized version of Dino Riders.
Dinosaurs with robotics in them. Yes. At the same time, you know, like there's companies that are pulling in. There's a video game coming out called I think it's called The Knockoffs, and their whole gimmick behind it is they have knockoffs of your favorite toys. So you have a Super Sentai Ranger who definitely is not Mighty or Morphin, but definitely is a Power Ranger. You know, there's, you know, a 5.5-inch looking He-Man character. There's, you know, a G.I. Joe looking dude, but they're definitely all not that brand. But, you know, it's bringing in all those kind of tropes of toys over the years into one game and having them be a fighting game, which is pretty dope. And now they're starting to talk to indie toy makers, I guess, to bring in some of those independently made toys to be a part of this. So it's just, I don't know, it's something neat to see.
Well, and then even you know, 10 years ago, like there would have been the stigma that a lot of people would have called certain things knockoffs.
Yeah.
And now we've gotten to this point where they're no longer knockoffs. They're third-party companies. Granted, they're making unlicensed product of X characters. But you know,
these aren't Ninja Turtles. They are just turtles
they're totally,
who are ninjas.
They're you know, half adult samurai. You know,
I don't even remember what they're called. Yeah,
reptilians or something.
Basically, like it's that thing of there's so many, there's such a variety out there now that, like, whereas it used to kind of be like, oh, I want to collect this toy line that I found at the shop. Like now with the internet and stuff, you can literally find everything, for better or worse. But it's become that thing of what used to be a very niche community that was very isolated is now grown into, oh, holy crap, it's a worldwide, you know, phenomenon. There are people who collect everywhere. There are people who collect everything. You can find your people out there that you know, are in that same vein as you. It got to the point enough that I started group chats and stuff like that because I was in larger like Facebook groups or something, or like Facebook group chats, and I was like, there's like 30 people in some of these group chats. I'm like, this is the Turtles one, this is the wrestling figure one, this is the General, this is this is that, and I've had to do the same on my Discord that I do via my Patreon, and it's become this thing of kind of, again, finding those niches and finding those groups of people that all of a sudden, you know, you go to a store, you know, like you go to Target and you're picking up some groceries or something like that. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I always head back to the toy aisle at least to like walk through, because it's like, you might find something, you might not, but at the very least you tried. But you know, someone might be like, oh, I'm looking for this. So you take a picture and go, hey man, did you get this? And sometimes they'll be like, yeah or no, but you can help people out and kind of help, build a collection with folks too. So I know there's a lot of toy lines that I'm not gonna lie, I collect vicariously through Tony because this mother trucker buys everything. And I'm like,
It's
cool.
true.
Like I cannot afford to do that. I have to pay for printing. I have to pay for travel. Yeah.
But I make it happen.
But I mean,
Still have to figure out how I'm gonna get that 6-foot-long dragon.
that's not a euphemism. Mythic Legions is making a gigantic 112 scale dragon. Did they reveal a price point on that yet? Yeah, be afraid.
Yeah.
But
I'm even more afraid because I thought it was gonna be all one thing, and now they're like, oh, the wings and the head and the fire, that's a whole separate piece, and I'm like,
well, that's to break price down. So you can, never mind. We're arguing about a toy that neither of us have seen in person. So
Yeah.
welcome to the club. And I just spilled water everywhere. I'm really eloquent, you guys.
it's true. We both are.
I mean, this is the fun thing though, is coming to a show like this. You go through the vendor hall. You have toy vendors, both vintage and modern. You have independent toy makers that are out there and vending. I was hoping to debut something here at the show, but unfortunately the casting didn't go as smooth as possible. But I have a love of muscle or kinnikumen, like little keshi figures. I love collecting keshi, which are just little rubber slug figures. Not like when I say slug figures, people are like, bugs? It's like, no, they're just like single chunks of plastic. And I've been collecting those long enough that I finally asked a couple of my buddies who make toys, and I said, hey, I want to make keshi. How do I go about doing that? And hi. I don't know who that was, but lovely to see you. But I actually made keshi and designed keshi of my indie comic characters. So you'll get Wonder Boy, Bolt, the Hatosaurus Rex, and Captain Toast, as well as a version of my YouTube mascot, which is Beanie, which I sold out of COJ stickers because I was going to hand those out here at the panel, but people really liked them, so I'm really sorry. I was going to bring some cool shit, but it's out there. But it's that neat thing of realizing like, oh, those will probably be here next year, which is a cool thing. It seems like a long way away, but it'll be here before you know it. But it's been that really cool thing now. I actually have at home, it came in last night. I got some comps from Boss Fight Studios, which I didn't think I was going to get, of some of the first figures that I got to work on professionally, where I was getting paid by a corporation that was mass manufacturing and shipping worldwide. It's a character called Oro Koki Dorado from Laboran Kenya, which was cool because at the time that character had only appeared in like 4 or 5 panels. So I actually got to help design the character for the comic because I had to do a full turnaround of what that character looked like from every angle. And now it's a carded figure that's just chilling at home taunting me, because I was going to grab it this morning and I woke up late. So it is sitting there. But tune in Wednesday because I'll be busting open that package like a fat kid on a cupcake, because it's exciting. That's the first real toy, like outside of like little Kickstarters or something that I might have contributed design work for, that's like, this is something that's available at your local comic book shop. This is something that's you can find at stores, and that's pretty damn cool. I also had worked on a bunch of wrestling figures for them via their Masked Republic Legends of Lucha Libre line, which was crazy because one figure debuted at San Diego Comic-Con, one figure debuted at New York Comic-Con, and then the other 4 just hit stateside now. So those are going to be starting to hit real soon too. That's their premium waves, wave 4, I think it is. But again, it's that neat thing from going from being a little kid picking up Happy Meal toys and thinking this is the peak of entertainment, to going like behind the scenes and actually laying down line work and stuff to create action figures that are now you guys can order. You guys can go out and buy and pick up and play with. And it's cool because I have like just the littlest, watermark on them, I guess. Like it's just fun to be a part of that.
It's kind of the same with Odious too.
Oh yeah,
just a little contribution.
Yeah. So do any of you subscribe to Unparalleled Universe? Wade Merrick. It's not really his name. Okay. Yeah. So the Odious figure that he did on Kickstarter. Wade's a buddy. He was on the marathon stream, and when he was doing Odious, he messaged me and he was like, "Hey man, would you mind doing a piece of artwork, like just for hype?" I'm like, "Sure." So I banged out a quick Odious. Little did I know, he put it on the fucking dead center of the interior of the package. So I got the figure and I'm just like, "Oh man, son of a," like, I'm like, "That's mine." Like, "You couldn't shout me out or anything, Wade?" He's like, "Ah." I'm like, "Okay."
It's a free toy next time.
Got it. Wait, was that? I'm sorry, I couldn't. 5 or 15? 5. Okay. Wow, this flew by. All right.
I guess
But
so.
real quick, do y'all have any questions? Yeah.
How would you like get into like the toy industry?
Just in general.
Yeah, like
So-
like design.
For me, it came about through my background in comics. I've been working in comics between 17 and 18 years. I'm bad with numbers, but like I've worked for Marvel, DC, Oni Press, Image, Top Cow, like Dark Horse. Like I've worked for pretty much everybody. And a couple of my friends went, "Hey, have you ever talked to this guy?" And I literally reached out to him and I said, "Hi, my name's Dave Wheeler. This is what I do. Lifelong toy collector. I'd love to help make some toys." And I didn't hear back for like 2 months. And then lo and behold, one of my buddies who I met at a convention years and years prior, he was very good friends and active friends with another one of my friends who comes on the stream, Matt, and we got to talking. He came on the stream a couple times, and turns out he worked at Boss Fight. And he's like, "Hey man, do you ever do turnarounds?" I'm like, "Personally?" But it's like, "Okay, yeah, like, all right, yeah, I can do that." And I started working on Oro from there, and then that led into the Master Public line, and that led into figures on shelves, which is pretty damn cool. Any other questions real quick? Yeah.
Do you have any specific type of toy, like an action figure or a transforming toy or an electronic toy?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Oro Koki Dorado is the first one that's coming out that I worked on. There's a lot of things that are kind of behind the proverbial NDA curtain right now. There are going to be some really fun things coming in 2025, as long as shipments and everything hit when they're supposed to. Right now, it's been Oro and the wrestling figures professionally, but yeah, there will be some really cool action figures that I can talk about hopefully very soon. Toy Fair is coming up real quick, so fingers crossed. That's also the weird game in toy design and toys in general, is there's a lot of stuff that you'll never see because it's the game of it's designed, it's in sculpt, it's in tooling, it got blown up, or the previous line didn't sell well so it got scrapped. There are there are 3 things that I worked on for Boss Fight that unfortunately won't see the light of day just because of sales from the previous wave, where I did full-on designs for 3 series of, I guess I can say PVCs, like little figures that just unfortunately the first product didn't hit the line, but it was enough that it was selling well enough that they were like, all right, we're gonna do something that's gonna be the next step, and then they went, never mind, we're just gonna push this away. Here you go. Like you have a portfolio piece now. But from one of those, I managed to get more work for the root company or the licensor for it, so the origin company of it overseas. So, and again, that's something that hopefully I'll be able to talk about very soon. Yay, being vague. Sorry. Any other questions? I think we got time for one more. Yeah.
What do you think of the rumor of Hasbro losing the Disney license?
I don't think it's gonna happen. They make too much fucking money for those guys. Like, it.
The MCU stuff's not selling well.
The MCU's not selling well because they friggin' flood the market with it months and months and months before the movie comes out. Yeah. No, and I know. Speaking of a lot of that, like it's been interesting also to talk to. They've talked about there was a massive shipment. Okay, well, a lot of that stuff was in production during like the end of the pandemic, so it was that weird thing of the carryover was okay, cool. We produced this for a world where it was open and people weren't locked down, because you couldn't predict that. So all of a sudden, you have cases upon cases upon cases of these figures that just won't go anywhere.
or they move the date out, or
Yeah, well, like-
they had to release them anyways, and then the movie doesn't come out for another year.
Yeah, Captain America, the new Captain America, Brave New World.
The Happy Meal toys.
Yes, like those came out and they're like, hey, look at all these reveals, and people are like, the movie doesn't come out till next February. And it's the same thing with there's a Red Hulk figure on the pegs right now. There's a Falcap on the pegs right now that were supposed to coincide with the release of the original release date of the movie, which I'm hoping they'll re-release down the line because they're really cool characters, and unfortunately they're sitting right now because people are like, I don't understand where that costume comes from or why there's a red Hulk. Why is Hulk red? What did Bruce do? It's like, it's not Bruce. But spoiler alert, in case you didn't know who Red Hulk was. But it's that interesting thing of timing is one of the biggest bane of toy design or the toy industry's existence, because you can go, I'm gonna make figures because of this trend, and then hope that trend is ready in a year and a half when the actual product will hit. I know that there was a lot of stuff with the actual incoming ports, like where storage containers were blocked up for months on end. I know that happened with a couple of the Kickstarters that I backed or that I contributed to, where it was like, oh yeah, the product's been sitting in port, but it's been there for 4 months. They haven't found the shipping container yet.
I know,
and it's like, oh.
And now they won't. They made choices at the time to alleviate that. So they were like, people were upset because this was supposed to be out 3 months ago, and then all of a sudden Hasbro was like, okay, well, this new item isn't going to come out until this time next year, and then 6 months later it shows up, and everybody's like, well, you guys said a year, and it's like, well,
it's backfill.
We were
essentially
trying
at this
to
point, yeah.
get you to not be upset because it was late, and hopefully be happy that it was early.
But that's kind of the nature of the beast. The cool thing is on the bright side, as a collector, there's no shortage of cool stuff to collect, and the neat thing is everybody's going to collect their own way. And remember that, because I know I can't collect like Tony collects. Tony can't collect like Tony collects. But it's that fun thing of everybody has like a different route, and it's kind of neat to be supportive of one another in the collecting community just in general, because life's too short to be a dick. So I think that's where we'll end it, because we're 3 minutes over already. But go check out youtube.com/DaveWonder. That's my channel. You'll see Tony and I on there all the time. And yeah, also there's a Patreon if you want to pop on the Discord. It's $1 a month to get access to the Discord. I'm always on there along with a bunch of toy professionals just in the chat, shooting the breeze. So hopefully I catch you all on the streams. So catch you later. Swing by table 856 if you want to shoot the shit a bit more.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye! I should put this back up, otherwise they're going to be confused. Was someone laying down in the previous panel?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Do what I want.
Hard same. No. I hope that got caught on the camera.
Oh, it all did. It's still going.
Playing with the microphone. Playing with the microphone. Hey guys, be good, be kind. Much love from Minnesota. Good night.